which is in the book, almost nearly all the characters admit to having a profound sense of isolation or loneliness. And Curly's wife admits to Candy, Crook, and Lenny that she is unhappily married to Curly. So she's lost in this world and something that she doesn't want to be in. And well, it stopped her from achieving her dreams, so she's in full isolation. So when Lenny comes in, he's an innocent soul. So she's gonna try and of course come and talk to him, and probably gonna lead him down to the road to not become where she's come, where she's stuck at a dead end, to continue to go where you want to go, where your dream is.
Yeah. Also, why do you think Crook was so mean to everybody?
Crooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting. He's my favorite character in the book, African American character.
Yeah. Personally, I think he was so mean because he was always outcasted. You know, he was never really with the guys.
He just,
Go ahead.
he wasn't treated the same. He was treated awfully compared to everybody else. And he just couldn't deal with it. Like, he just couldn't deal with all of it. So he
Did to hide his emotions.
Did you catch what he did to pass the time?
He read books.
Yeah, he read books. I think Crooks mostly just isolated himself because he couldn't deal with the racism or the attacks that he got, because everyone else had fun. He couldn't go out with them. He couldn't be with them. So he just isolated himself in his room reading books. And it's not that he wanted to be alone. It's more when he was with someone else, it wasn't if they treated him as equal, if not just another they didn't even look at him like a person. So he was only a worker, someone that do the work for them, and mostly like a slave. And they didn't look him at like a friend or a person, so he just couldn't handle that, and he isolated himself.
Sorry.
Okay.
I cut her off 15 minutes ago.
Okay, so back to Lenny's wife, Curly's wife. If Lenny hadn't killed her, do you think that he and George would have continued working on the farm, finished it, and continued to get their own land? Because a lot of the workers there were doubting them.
Yeah. I think they would have, because Candy was really interested in the idea, and he was going to help them as well, so he could own 2 acres of land.
So was Crooks, but then Curly's wife told him that he didn't really have a place, and he felt discriminated. So then, therefore, that led to Crooks not trying to, because Lenny told him about the farm and stuff, and then he told him to count him out because after what Curly's wife said to him.
Well, I have something that also ties into that, and with Hal, what he said. Okay, so what I said earlier, that every character has admitted to them being lost in isolation and loneliness. Crooks is a black, servant, so of course he's going to be outcasted and put into that realm of loneliness and isolation. And yet, okay, so in all of the characters, even in their state of loneliness and isolation, they're trying to bring other people down with them. They're trying to destroy those that are weaker than them. And when Lenny when he explained his dream, Crook started to criticize him because he didn't think that he'd make it with his such strong dependence on George. And so Lenny just eventually leaves. But I think that's a strong connection because Crook zeroed in on Lenny because of his own weakness. He decided to make his Lenny's weakness worse. So to the point where he's starting to get lost down the road that Crooks is getting lost in. He wants to see him like him.
Tied into that, I feel like Lenny was mainly important to the story because everybody always tried to put him down, but he always saw the bright side of everything, and he tried to tell everybody, yeah, I'm gonna have rabbits, I'm gonna tend them, and I'm gonna have a better life once I get my career started and get money. So I believe Isaac said, that the state of loneliness was like everybody in the story had like a state of loneliness, which they tried to put him down and they tried to like make him feel worse about his situation rather than focus on their lives and improve their own state of being.
Could also ties into like what's the actual relationship of George and Lenny? Like, how do they actually relate to each other?
Well, sorry. Did you have more?
I think that it was kind of like a brotherly bond because like George was kind of stuck with Lenny, but he was doing it for his aunt because she really wanted him to take care of Lenny. So he just let him through life and helped him, and he actually ended up really getting close to Lenny.
So I was gonna say, like, what Justin said is a good point, but in the state that everybody's so lonely, they're looking for the comfort of a friend, which George happened to stumble upon Lenny and they became friends. And he didn't see him as much, he just wanted him that way he could have somebody to talk to, somebody who would listen to him, but as time grew on, he started to develop this bond with him to the point where they were practically brothers. And when when Lenny's life was threatened, George sought to save him, not out of loneliness or not out of loneliness, but out of just that he was useless and that he only wanted him for a friend, but for the fact that he was such a good friend, he wanted to save him from what he was going to experience.
I would say people on the outside, give them a hand.